G'day Darkrealmers, it's horror author and illustrator Michael J. Elliott here with you again today. And today I'm going to be looking at a movie that originally I previewed in the 2017 releases, and you might remember it from my video. And it's The Lodgers. And the trailer live up to my expectations? I'll let you know because we're going to get started right now. Yeah! So Darkrealmers, when I saw this trailer, before I presented it to you, I got really excited for this movie. It looked everything I love in a horror movie, and the trailer certainly had its chilling moments. And so when I saw that it had been obtained by Netflix and it was going to be shown, I got really excited. But before I give you my review, I'll just show you the trailer, just to jog your memories, okay?
We came to this place and shut ourselves away, so nobody would know what we are.
Every sound the house makes, I hear them. They won't wake up long.
Do you believe that two people can do something so unnatural that it leaves a stain on them? And that the stain goes on to their children? And to their children's children?
Say it and make us sing. This house speaks to us. It belongs to us and we to it. They're coming.
My parents were suicides.
Drowned. Tomorrow I leave, with or without you. I won't stay and become what they did.
I know what you're like, you and your family. And you think I don't know what goes on in that place.
There's no name for what we are.
Now, I think you'll agree, Darkrealmers, that's the sort of trailer that would have gotten you to hand over your hard-earned cash at the box office. Unfortunately, you would have lost money big time, okay? Because the trailer is far more exciting than the actual movie. Okay, now the producers, who happen to be the Irish Film Board, wanted to make a classic gothic ghost story, and they had all the elements there, but they didn't do anything with it, unfortunately. Now the story concerns Rachel and Edward, and they're twins, and they're shut away in this decrepit, squalor-filled mansion that's been in the family for generation after generation, and there's a curse on them, and they have to live by certain rules. They have to be in their beds and have their door locked by midnight. They are not allowed to let a stranger over the threshold of the door of the house, and if one of them leaves, the other one will die or be in mortal peril. And also they're not to leave each other alone. Now, they basically watched as their parents drowned when they were younger, and that psychologically affected Edward. From that time on, he became agoraphobic and wouldn't leave the house at all. And as the story progresses, we see him gradually get paler and paler, but he also, in the mansion that's crumbling to pieces around them, his mind is actually crumbling too. And it seems a really great premise. Unfortunately, for about 85 minutes, nothing really happens, Darkrealmers. Yes, we get scenes of water bubbling up from this trapdoor in the hallway, and visions of watery people coming up the stairs and so forth. But that's about it. Nothing gets explained. Now, I should point out that as moviegoers, we don't want everything handed to us on a plate, but we need a bit more than just vague scares where nothing is resolved and the dialogue is ambiguous and doesn't lead anywhere. Now, into the mix comes a young soldier back from World War I, because this story is set in 1920, Darkrealmers. and his parents or his mother owned the local village general store, and he sees Rachel as she's coming in to get supplies, and he becomes smitten with her. Now he tries to follow her home, and she says, no, you mustn't follow me. Well, what if I do? And finally they do meet up. Now I found it very difficult to believe that this woman who's been locked away, despite the fact that she's probably, she's just turned 18 with her brother and she has a burgeoning sexuality and everything, would meet this guy at the lake and allow him to have sex with her on the first time when he's just met her. I mean, you've got to take into account the morality of the 1920 too. And it's all part of the curse, that doesn't get explained. So we're wondering, and she doesn't go ahead with it, by the way, Darkrealmers, that's not a spoiler. But some of the dialogue is so trite. He tries to convince her to come away with him, away from this mansion, away from whatever madness is affecting her. And, he says, look, there are horrible things out there. There's war. There's worse than what you're facing. And she says a line, something along the lines of, there's worse things than hatred. Like what? Love. Love is worse. Oh, and I just groaned when I heard that, Darkrealmers, because that's not even worthy of a Mills and Boon book, honestly. And into this, we also get Mr. Birmingham, who is the family retainer who's been looking after the estate for generation and generation, just to tell them that they've run out of money, they can't afford to live, they're going to have to sell the house and they're going to have to go. And of course they can't do that, and we don't know why they can't do that at this stage. And Ed Wood actually invites him into the house, and we're expecting something dramatic, something horrible to happen. Well, it does happen to Mr. Birmingham, but not from the so-called curse or the lodges. And that's the problem with the film Darkrealmers, is that it's visually scrumptious. I mean, as far as a decaying mansion can be gorgeous, but the grounds, the village setting, the whole costume, the atmosphere is very good, but it doesn't lead anywhere until right at the end, when I frankly had gotten past caring. And I checked out, because I always like seeing, just to see whether I'm in the minority or majority when it comes to the way I look at films. And I checked IMDb, and the majority of the reviews said the same thing. I was way past caring. I didn't, it didn't grab me, too many unresolved shocks, vague threats, vague hints, dialogue that didn't go anywhere or lead to anything. And that's the big problem with it, Darkrealmers. We get little crumbs of information, which are fine if they build up in a movie, but here they don't until the end, when, as an audience, we've invested our time, and movie makers, you basically wasted our time. You're trying to keep us attention going with just vague promises. We'll resolve this, don't worry, hang around. And it didn't work for me, Darkrealmers. Now, for my Darkrealmer Amber, you can watch this because there's no gore in this. Well, there is a little bit, but not anything major. And the curse, or the watery people, aren't frightening. Well, they are in their own way, but they're not hideous, mermaid type people, nothing like that. And if you like that sort of just past the Victorian era, in the new century, but still that has that beautiful, sense of the past, and costumes and sets and scenery, you'll love this. You really will, because I do give the producers points for the visual and the look of the film. Unfortunately, it's the script that lets them down, Darkrealmers. But like I said, check it out for yourselves. Now, you can find it, as I said, on Netflix. It's also available on DVD and Blu-ray, and you can watch it, but you're going to have to force yourself, really and truly, to keep your interest levels up, because it's almost like we're going to find out, oh no, we didn't. And For me, as a moviegoer and a movie lover, I don't mind waiting for the payoff, but I don't like having to wait too long before I learn something substantial. And that's a problem with the movie Darkrealmers. Okay, that's my review of The Lodgers. I hope you've liked it. Now, if you've seen the movie, let me know what you think in the comments below, because I'd love to hear your take on the movie. And if you haven't, I don't want to put you off, but would you still be interested in seeing this movie? Let me know, okay? Because I love hearing your comments and I love replying to you. Okay, that's it from me, Darkrealmers, Michael J. Elliott. And as I always say, if you're going to go exploring, or at least if you're going to be living in a squalid, horrible mansion, make sure to keep the lights on. Well, in their case, the candles. Bye for now.